Hi guys, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here in Japan, and we're taking a look at a 2001 X-Trail GT. This one bought from auction here in Japan is going to be exported to Canada, and this vehicle is quite a bit cooler than it looks like at first sight because it comes with probably the most unique engine you can think of to come in a little 4x4 like this. This engine is an SR20VET engine. Now, that might sound a little bit familiar because there is an engine called an SR20DET, but the V there means variable valve timing. Variable valve timing takes this otherwise Silvia or 180 SX engine and turns it into a 280 horsepower engine. So variable valve timing, here it says 280 PS, Neo VVL, variable valve lift, it says there. And so pretty unique. This engine was never available in the Silvia. The S15 is the fastest Silvia, aside from like the 270R, which is a special model, but still the S15 only got 250 horsepower, where this one gets 280, so pretty unique. Okay, so engine-wise, seems like it runs fine. Coolant is good. It's not actually leaking. I just opened it up to take a look at it. Oil looks fine. Really nothing surprising. There's a big intercooler that says turbo, and then you can't really see much of the engine. You don't get the beautiful valve cover like you do in the Silvias because it has this big intercooler in the way. You wouldn't be able to see it anyway. Now, it doesn't have a hood scoop. Most of these top mount intercooler cars are going to have a hood scoop. This one doesn't have a hood scoop, and so the way that it's fed is through these intakes here, which line up to this section of the grill. And so half the grill here on either side gets plumbed into this intercooler shrouding. Kind of unique there, but Toyota does the same thing on some of their 4x4s. Okay, lowering the hood here. Okay, so yeah, this one's going to Canada, and in Canada you could buy these X-Terras, but they weren't sold in the USA, which is kind of interesting. It looks like the type of vehicle that would do very well in the USA, but I guess they didn't want to steal any of the sales from the X-Terra, which is a truck-based SUV that is small. This one here is a car-based SUV that is small, but it does have, I guess it is a little bit smaller than the X-Terra. Almost the same size as a Forester, and so that would be the direct competition, I would think. It has better ground clearance by the looks of it. Suspension is up higher. Approach and departure angles are better than the Forester, and about the same power, because here in Japan you can get the Forester with a turbocharged engine, 260, 280-ish horsepower. Kind of the same as the Impreza engine. Okay, here's the auction inspection sheet. It's a 2001 X-Trail GT. They only made the GT, the SR20 version, for the first generation, and now there are 3 generations of this vehicle, so only the first one got this. I think that like the SR20 engine, it just couldn't pass emissions compliance when they changed them in 2005, and so instead of reworking it, they discontinued it. It's an auction grade 4 with an interior grade C, 66408 kilometers, automatic transmission, alloy wheels, power steering, power windows, airbag. Original silver paint. It's a one-owner vehicle. This says authentic mileage on it. 4-wheel drive, and it does have a locking center differential, which is pretty weird for the car-based 4-wheel drive systems. Usually that's only on the truck-based ones. Has fog lights. It's true, the X-Terra actually has some really cool roof-mounted fog lights up here, but I believe that the ones that were sold in Canada, they weren't actually legal. I'll leave the engine running. A little bit of a belt sound that's coming out of there. Okay, what else do we have on here? Door visors. That's true. Rear wiper, SR20VET. Intercooler turbo engine, comes with warranty papers for the car. This is the 474th one that was made. Okay, here's the auction report. Interior is dirty, steering wheel wear, trim scratched, underside surface rust, various scratches and dents, so pretty clean there. The body has a medium dent here in the back fender, some medium scratches on the front fender here. I think all of these ones can be buffed out. I did take a close look at them, and then a medium dent here in the back, which kind of looks like a small dent to me. So I think that they were a little bit harsh on here. Although the car does have some areas where the paint has faded, and they didn't mention that. Okay, so let's do the once around here. And before I do that, this is really weird. Look, front fenders are made out of plastic. That's really weird. But I guess it makes them flexible for if you're actually going to be off-roading. And I think that the vehicle is pretty tough. The person who bought this car actually owns an X-Trail in Canada and wants to buy another one, but there aren't any good ones left in Canada. And here, there are tons of good ones. I think the turbo ones are still pretty easy to get, but the non-turbo ones I think would be easier to find. Prices aren't that much higher for the turbo ones. I don't think that people have been paying attention to these cars, and so prices probably aren't that much different. Okay, it's on the original wheels. It's original roof rails on it and rear spoiler. Okay. So I think a pretty cool looking vehicle. This is a crossover before crossovers were really a big thing. They were just in their baby stages in the early 2000s. And so maybe this vehicle is a little bit ahead of the game. So headlights are faded yellow, you can see there. Especially the tops are more than the rest. Okay, let's look at problems. The A2 on the front fender. So this one here has a number of scratches in it. Lots and lots of scratches, but all of them are really, really fine. And so you should be able to bring those out. This one here is probably the biggest one. Still, you should be able to get that one out. Back fender dents, looking at the fuel cap there. Okay, the biggest part of damage is on the back bumper here and the back fender. So here's the back fender AU2. And the back bumper scratches. It has been painted with the same color paint. Looks okay. And then we got a bit of a dent here with some of the scratches too. Looks like it has a little aftermarket thing on the end in order to make it bigger, but that's the stock exhaust. It could be that that's part of the GT equipment, but I don't know. Don't know. Okay, so let's go inside the vehicle here. So the doors are big and open super wide, very easy entry and exit into the vehicle. Speakers on all four doors, 4 power windows. The level of wear inside is not so high, so it seems to be in pretty good condition. It is dirty in a lot of places, typical of a car coming directly from the auction, but it's part of the reason why you pay less. And so the vehicle needs a bit of a cleanup, but condition is pretty good. It does have a cigarette burn here. A small one here too. And then that seat pattern is pretty unique. It's quite soft actually. Almost ripping in these sections here. Just getting a little bit threadbare. Steering wheel looks pretty good. Typical Nissan steering wheel. Gauges are in the center, which is pretty rare. I guess not that rare of a thing. The VETs or the Echo Yaris car had them, and the Minis had them. But they were a mini thing. The original Minis were like that. So we got some speakers up here. Airbag over there. Center stack is pretty good looking for a car that's now over 15 years old. Okay, let's go back to that. We have 3 AC vents here, plus another AC vent over here, and another one over there. The back gets no AC vents, unfortunately. And then we get these. Guess what this is? Now I don't know, and I would like to know if the Canadian version came with these. I've never actually been inside one of the Canadian ones. But those are both 355 milliliter can size sleeves where you put a can into them. Look, they're round and everything. Then there's an AC vent in there, so when you turn the AC on, you close the door like this. It pushes the AC air past the outside of the can to keep your drink colder for longer. Pretty cool. And I guess it would work with the heater too, but just not as... I mean, hot canned drinks exist in Japan, but they're not that common outside of Japan. tape deck, CD player, adjustable AC, pretty basic stuff there. Here's the buttons for, you can do automatic version of 4-wheel drive, which makes it front wheel drive until slip and then 4-wheel drive, or you can lock it to have 4-wheel drive all the time. 66,498 kilometers at the time of doing this video. Got some lights, got some these with a this and some of that. I like the seats, they're a little bit slidey, but could just be with the pants that I'm wearing. This is a bit weird. You can push it forward and back, like one click. I don't know why you would be able to do that. And then you can open it half style, or you can pop it up completely. A little storage bin in there, and a place for cards. Okay. Folding mirrors work, power windows work. I like the way it drives. It feels, I think, cooler than a Forester does. Maybe I've just been around so many of the JDM Foresters, but I do like the way that it feels a little bit taller and a little bit more rugged. You sit up higher. Okay, back seat's easy entry and exit. It is a 5-seater. I guess it would be too small to put 7, even for Japanese legs. Okay. Dirty in this section. This part here is a little bit neat. It folds down here and then there's a storage there, but then if you want you can double fold it down to have a pathway here for your skis. Maybe that's why there's Velcro on there, is to Velcro your skis down. That way you can still fit 4 people in here with the skis and you don't have to do the seat flip down style. Heading into the back, very much like a Forester in the back actually. You can see here. Now it's all hard plastic, and so it's plasticky. I don't really know what to say about that, but you get the 2 places here, storage here. No, not storage, that's tools, storage on this side here. You can do storage in here, and then underneath that foam piece is your spare tire. It's a full-size spare tire. You can see from the back here that the seats are adjustable. You can adjust them back if you want. Common thing for a lot of Japanese this size vehicle. Okay, close the door. Easy to close. Fit and finish of the vehicle, it seems to be pretty high. Not really much else to say about it. It's a really good little SUV, crossover, whatever you want to call it. I really don't like the word crossover. I tend to not say it very often. But it's really difficult to categorize this type of vehicle without calling it that. And so there we have it, the X-Trail from Japan, X-Trail GT with Sylvia Heart. So I hope you enjoyed this walk around. It has been almost a week since our last video, and so sorry about that, but we do have a lot of other vehicles that are coming up. I don't know if that one's going on the channel. I think the Celsior is, that one's not. The Soarer I think is, and then we got a few more in there somewhere. So, oh yeah, and the Forester, that's also going on the channel. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Check out our website, there's a link to that in the description. So thanks a lot for watching, and have a nice day.